Hello everyone, and welcome back to Explain the Charts. Today is November 18th, 2025, and we are diving deep into one of the market's most talked about stocks, Tesla, ticker symbol Tesla. The sentiment around Tesla is incredibly mixed right now, with a fierce tug-of-war between bullish long-term promises and some very real short-term headwinds. First, we'll break down the latest news and headlines that are causing all this volatility. On the bullish side, we have major analyst upgrades fueling optimism. Stifel just raised its price target to $508, reaffirming a buy rating based on significant progress in robotaxi and full self-driving technology. They're pointing to management's goal of deploying driverless robot access in 8 to 10 major cities by the end of this year, which would be a monumental achievement. Other firms like Wedbush are even more bullish, with a staggering $600 price target. However, the bearish arguments are just as compelling. Recent reports showed a dramatic drop in Tesla's China sales for October, hitting a 3-year low and causing its market share there to shrink significantly. We're also seeing signs of pressure on profitability, with earnings declining while R&D costs for projects like the Optimus robot are soaring. Adding to the uncertainty, we've seen prominent Tesla bull Cathie Wood's ARK Invest trimming their position, and a steep stake cut by Peter Thiel's hedge fund. This clash of narratives is creating the perfect storm, the promise of future tech versus the reality of current sales and market pressures. Now, let's see how this dramatic push and pull is reflected in the charts. Looking at the daily chart, the word volatile is an understatement. We saw an incredible rally starting in early November, where the stock gapped up from the $250s and exploded to a high of nearly $450 in just a few days. This move was a classic example of market euphoria, likely driven by the positive analyst commentary on future growth. Before that, the stock experienced a sharp drop in early October and another massive one-day sell-off back in June. This price history confirms what the news suggests. Tesla stock is prone to huge swings on sentiment and headlines. Let's zoom in on the action from September onwards to get a clearer picture of the current battleground. After peaking around $449 on November 10th, we saw a brutal rejection with a massive red candle on November 13th, where the price plunged to nearly $400. This sharp sell-off aligns perfectly with the timing of the negative China sales data and broader tech sector weakness. That low from a few days ago, around the $396 to $401 range, is our first critical area of support. However, the news articles identify a much stronger support zone between $380 and $390, where buyers have historically stepped in. If we lose $380, the bearish case strengthens significantly, with the next logical target being the $350 level. To the upside, immediate resistance is yesterday's high right around $424. Above that, sellers have consistently appeared in the $420 to $430 range, making it a key hurdle. If the bulls can push through $430 with conviction, the next major test is the recent peak near $450. A sustained break above $450 would signal a potential run towards the 52-week high near $480. Switching over to the 1-hour chart, we can see this recent struggle in more detail. Here is that steep drop from the November 10th peak. Following that, the price has been consolidating, essentially moving sideways in a volatile range. You can clearly see the battle lines drawn, with failed attempts to break higher and strong buying action whenever the price dips towards that $400 psychological level. This price action screams indecision, as traders digest the conflicting news and await the next major catalyst to pick a direction. Finally, let's look at the 15-minute chart for the most recent price action from yesterday and today. Yesterday, November 17th, started with buying pressure, leading to a strong rally in the afternoon session that topped out near that $424 resistance level we identified. However, the sellers stepped in, and the price pulled back to close near $409. Today's early action shows the stock is trying to find its footing, hovering around the $410 mark. For day traders, these levels are key, A break and hold above $424 could trigger a short-term bullish move, while a failure to hold the $400 level could lead to a quick drop to test the major $380 support zone. So, to recap everything, let's pull back to the daily chart and lay out the scenarios. Your key support levels to watch are the immediate zone around $396 to $400, the stronger support between $380 to $390, and the breakdown level at $380. Your key resistance levels are yesterday's high of $424, the seller's territory at $430, and the recent peak at $449 to $450. The bullish case, supported by long-term growth narratives like robotaxi, hinges on breaking through that $430 resistance. If the broader market cooperates, I would assign a 60% probability that we retest the $449 highs in the coming weeks. This would be reinforced by any positive news on FSD or a surprise rebound in sales data. The bearish case is very real and is based on current fundamentals like the China sales slump. A decisive break below the $380 support would confirm a bearish reversal. I'd place a 40% probability on a move towards $350 if $380 fails, especially if upcoming economic reports or Nvidia's earnings spook the tech sector. Moving forward, keep a close eye on institutional flows and any official updates from Tesla regarding their robotaxi or Optimus timelines, as these will be major catalysts. That's all for this analysis on Explain the Charts. Please remember, this content is for informational and educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Trading and investing involve significant risk, and you should always conduct your own thorough research before making any decisions. Consult with a qualified financial professional to understand what is suitable for your individual circumstances. If you found this breakdown helpful, please support the channel by hitting the like button, subscribing, and ringing the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.